Okay, right.
Everybody out? Yeah. Oh, it is distressed, isn't it? What have you got that down as?
Turkish.
Turkish.
Early 20th century.
There's decorators out there who like the shabby boho country house. That is going to make a room, OK?
This giant carpet is constructed from 4 woven panels stitched together and has been sourced from a large country estate. It's either Turkish or Afghan in origin and likely to be wool. In need of some restoration, it could be worth around £600.
How much can that be then?
I could do it for 150.
Been completely in two at one point.
Drew's casting his eye over the efforts of a collective of dealers who've recently set up shop in Shropshire.
I've only been open 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
This is my second week of being open.
And he spotted a 100-year-old carpet, which experience tells him could be an easy item to sell on.
How much can that be then?
I could do it for 150.
Sold. I think it's really, really beautiful.
This
It's
is
lovely.
nice.
Having already bagged some great pieces from Stacey and Alan, there are still 2 more dealers to visit, starting with Jack Holloway, who specialises in house clearances.
I do love a good house clearance place. We got any more of these?
There's a few knocking about.
Dairy
yeah.
bowls.
You can do that one at 50 quid.
Sold. Well, how much is the big one outside?
Large one there. I'll tell you what, I'll do 50 on that too.
Sure.
Positive, yeah.
All right, we'll have both of those. A couple of dairy bowls on there, one particularly good one. We get the pair for 100 quid. We've met, some money's changed hands. You know, it's those connections. You want to be on people's radar. They want to be able to say, oh, yeah, I know him, he'll want that. Right, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
On
much.
to the next one.
The final stop is a shop with a specialist mission. And it's the second time today that Drew will get early pickings.
Very much hunting, shooting and fishing themed.
Shooting and fishing. Right, OK.
And you're the first in, Drew. I've only opened the doors this morning.
You're kidding?
Nope, absolutely
The
not.
first person in.
First person in.
We're the first 2 people in. And very smart it is too. There are some things in here straight away that I'm thinking, oh, yes, look at that. I can find a home for that. Here we go again. I've just sold 2 of these.
OK.
I've just sold a matched pair.
3 is always better than 2.
How much are you asking for that one?
G. Kynock & Co. was a 19th century British Midlands munitions manufacturer, which became highly successful after supplying guns for the Boer War. Lavish mirrors such as this one were provided to retailers to promote sales of Kynock cartridges for hunting. Well preserved, this example could be worth around £1,500.
How much are you asking for that one?
Trade, I could do 1,100.
How's a grand grab you?
I'll meet you in the middle.
10.50?
Yeah.
Sold.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just over £1,000. There's £300 to £400 profit left in it. Let's say it's worth about 1,500 quid-ish. And you've got all these traps underneath here, and something I really love, which are eel forks.
They look
these are
really
great.
nice, almost as architectural sort of display, because
Yeah.
each region had different styles.
So you'd basically just trawl for your eels, wouldn't you? You just stick that in.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be on the end of a long pole, and you'd spike them out of the mud, and they'd stick in through those tines there.
Eels have been a staple British food for many centuries. So important to society that at the time of the Doomsday Book, people in England owed more than 500,000 eels in taxes each year to their landlords.
Can we get them all out?
Yes, of course we
Are
can.
they all for sale?
Everything's for sale, Drew.
Righto. We're into folk art territory here because they were regional. There was lots of different styles, lots of different sizes, lots of different ages. So if you put those on your wall, it makes that room immediately feel like it's been there a very long time, and there's been, you know, collectors bringing them in, and that sort of thing's been in the family for years. And it embodies a brand new room with age. And basically that's what we do. Okay, that's what we're doing in our job.
I found a few more, Drew, you might be interested in.
Okay. Those ones. Oh, that's the daddy. Look at that. Yeah, that's incredible. Okay.
Absolutely. And some more.
So how much is this one?
Say 150.
150, and say if we're saying 50 quid each on each one of these.
Yeah.
So it's what? How many's there now? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
22.
Okay.
That's 1,100.
1,200 with this?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go for it.
First day of trading? Happy?
All got to be sold someday.
Not happy, he's elated.
First hour, first day of Lee being open, we walk in and spend over 2,000 quid with him. I should imagine he's quite happy. But also, I will always call back in again, because he's a guy who's buying good things, and good things are easy to sell. It's always smart when dealers get together and create little places like this. I'm always going to call in, because you've got all those guys 7 days a week out there working for you to find great things. Always a good call.
It was great to have Drew come around our shops and give us the benefit of his experience. So he's bought quite a few interesting bits off us. Now he knows that there's a number of us dealers down here. Hopefully it'll become one of his regular stopping points.
Back in Conwy, Rebecca's been finding out more about the enigmatic collection of eel forks Drew brought back from Ludlow.
I think this must be one of the most unique collections Drew has ever brought back to Conwy. They're traditionally known as gigs or spears, and they've been used to catch eels as our sort of staple food for over thousands of years. This image from an Egyptian tomb dates to around 1430 BC, and it may well show an eel fisherman in action. And the Greek god Poseidon, who's usually depicted carrying his spiky trident, some experts actually believe that that is an eel gig. Drew's haul appears to be European. I'd say mostly Scandinavian and British, but some of them could be over 200 years old. I think Drew is definitely going to double his money. They're just curious, decorative, wonderful items with social history.
Steeler.
In Colwyn Bay, the 100-year-old carpet that Drew bought from Alan near Ludlow has arrived in Craig's workshop for some TLC.
Right, I can see exactly what the problem is. It's made up out of 4 separate panels, and these are hand-stitched together. And what's happened is the thread's broken, and it's left big gaping holes. So these gaping holes are going to need to be stitched back together again. There's also some really bad repairs. So what I'll do with these is unpick them and redo them properly.
Craig chooses some traditional thread that matches not only the colour,
I think that one's about right.
but also the fabric of this vintage carpet.
What I'm going to do now is this hole or this gap in here, I'm going to hand stitch this, and I'm going to do it in exactly the same way as this would have been done 100 years ago. So I've got a needle, which is a curved needle, slipping needle. I've gone for a smallish one on this because I want to do small stitches. If it's done correctly, you would never see the thread.
With over 30 years of experience, Craig's stitches vanish into the weave. He finishes by securing with a tiny knot and removing the frayed old thread.
Right, so I've got another piece on the bench now, and not only have I got to repair these splits, but there's been some really bad repairs done out in the past. And you've got big, huge stitches that are showing in white thread. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to cut these threads off. So if I just cut up... Come out really well. I think the best thing I can do with this now is get it rolled up, over to Drew, and get his approval on it.